Hello, this is Candy, and I'm from eyes2jesus.blogspot.com, and I thought I would vlog today because it has been a long time since I've done a vlog. So I'm just now setting up breakfast right now, so I am chopping up some fresh mango, and I am buttering some homemade bread and then adding some homemade berry jam to it. I'm finishing off my homemade bread, finishing off my homemade jam, and I hopefully can make some more today if I have time, and cutting up the rest of my fresh mangoes so we can get those eaten up, and that's what we're going to have for breakfast this morning. So we finished breakfast. Now we're getting ready for our morning portion of homeschool, which starts off with Bible study. So I'm just sitting down here in the living room where we're going to do our morning homeschool while the kids are grabbing their Bibles. Meanwhile, I thought I'd show you which planner I am in today. Here is my trusty planner at my side. I am in a Filofax Malden today. This is my other favorite planner. My two favorite planners are the Moterm Personal Planners and the Filofax Maldens, both in personal size. And this one is in the color pear. I love the personal size Filofax Malden in the color pear. Okay, so we just finished our morning homeschool. So now the kids and I were all doing our assigned cleaning chores for the morning. I, of course, have much more cleaning chores than they do because they have school assignments to do. So we're all doing our cleaning. When they're done with their cleaning, they're going to go straight into doing their independent assignments. I'm going to do all of my cleaning, and then I'm going to get into exercising. And it is lunchtime. I'm just now setting up lunch. So I'm just setting up plates, and what we're having is some bubble fruit, some dark chocolate covered almonds, some cheese, some carrot sticks, apple slices, and some blueberries. So now we're in the afternoon portion of our homeschool. So we just did our family read aloud. The kids just finished their PT, physical training, which I guess is equivalent to PE in some respects. And they are all doing their silent reading. And while they're doing that, I am now going to get to work on setting up some of what we're going to do in tomorrow's school. Now I'm able to knock some more things off of my to-do list, so I'm going to start by making bread. And now that my kids are older and one of them is an adult, moved out of the house, and they're not growing so fast now, we don't eat as much bread, so I only need to make one loaf of bread. So we just finished up the rest of our bread this morning, as you saw. So I'm going to get to work and make one loaf of bread. And I'll show you how I do it. It's so easy. Alright, so I need to start by grabbing my bowl. I'll be right back. Ooh, this is new. Alright, and I am going to, in my bowl, put in 1 teaspoon of yeast. And then I'm going to add 1½ cups of warm water. Here, 1½ and sea salt. This is almost empty, but I'm going to add in about ½ teaspoon of sea salt. I'm just going to do approximately ½ tablespoon to a tablespoon of grapeseed oil. A little bit more. And I'm going to keep this out because I'll be using my grapeseed oil again in just a little bit. And I need to do about a tablespoon of pure raw honey. And I'm going to do 3 cups of flour. You can do white or wheat or a combination or play with different flours. I'm just going to do 3 cups of white flour. Now I'm just going to pop this into my KitchenAid mixer and let it do the work of mixing and kneading. I just have my KitchenAid mixer just mix it until it was all mixed together and until it formed a dough ball like that. Then I didn't really have it do anything more than that, so just took a few minutes. Now my dough ball here is sticky, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the grapeseed oil that I left out and I'm just going to drizzle a little bit on it to help with the stickiness. And a little bit down on the bottom there. Alright, I'm going to take my clean, de-ringed hands and I'm going to just move this dough ball around in the grapeseed oil that I put in there. So that's all coated. There. And now it's not sticky and I can handle it. So I can move this out of the way. And I have here just a buttered bread loaf pan. So I am just going to take this and plop it into the loaf pan. So I only oil it because it makes it easier for me to work with, and now I can pat it down into the loaf pan and it's not sticking to my fingers. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I'm going to smooth the top out a bit, so just got my hand wet with a bit of water just so I can kind of smooth down the top, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't need to do. Now I'm just going to take a paper towel and just set it on top of this. Set that off to the side. I ran and washed my hands really quick, so I'm putting my watch and ring back on. And I am just going to let this bread rise for an hour or two. It is a cold day, so it might take a bit longer. I'm just going to come back and check it in about an hour. And if it's not double or more in bulk, then I will just keep leaving it and check it every once in a while. Now, once it's fully risen, I will just stick it in my oven at 375 degrees and bake it for a half hour. Then I'll let it cool completely, then I'll slice it, and it'll be ready. Meanwhile, it's time for me to move on to making some jam. Alright, to make my jam, in this saucepan, I put in 2 cups of fruit. Now, if I've been out berrying and I picked a whole bunch of berries like in the spring, I'll use that. But right now I have frozen berries, and you can use other fruits too, you know, just as long as it's a juicy type of fruit. You can peel and use fresh grapes, cotton candy grape jelly is really fun, etc. Pineapples also. But anyways, so I used 2 cups of frozen mixed berries. I popped that in here, and I had them on medium to high heat in the stove, and then I used my masher to kind of mash it all down. So now that's done. So now I've removed it from the heat, and I'm going to grab a tablespoon here. So while it's still hot, I'm going to mix in 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup, and then 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Then I'm just going to sprinkle in some cinnamon on top, just a little light layer. And here comes the magic. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. Oh, this is starting to smell really good in here. Now I'm just going to, oops, I need to find me a mixing spoon. Alright, that's all I add to it. So I'm going to mix it together. It's very liquidy and runny right now, which is totally normal. Now I have it well mixed. I am going to set a timer for 5 minutes. And then I'm just going to leave it alone and let it sit for 5 minutes. And here we are 5 minutes later, and this is what the jam looks like. And it will continue to, so I get in frame, it will continue to thicken some more as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this into a jar and pop it into the refrigerator. And then a minimum of an hour in the fridge, in my opinion, then it's ready for use anytime after that. And it will keep for about a week in the fridge. And that's how I make jam. Alright, and now we're doing as a conclusion of our afternoon homeschool is teenage driving lessons. I'm at that stage in life where I seem to just about always have a teenager with a learner's permit. So we're out doing his afternoon driving lesson right now. And we are back, so I'm getting more of my to-do list done. And I can now check off wrap presents. My oldest, his birthday is coming up. He's turning 20. I just now got his birthday presents wrapped. And the next thing I am doing is going through my closet. So I need to sort through that pile of clothes. Well, I just finished going through my closet, and that was fun. And I have about a half hour before I need to begin my evening routine, which also includes finishing up homeschool for the day. So I have the oven preheating because this is fully risen. Isn't it cute? I don't know how long ago it rose. I just now checked it and saw it's ready. So the oven's preheating for that. And meanwhile, I am going to make some chocolate chia pudding that we're going to have tomorrow morning for breakfast. So in this mixing bowl here, I put in a half cup of chia seeds. Now I'm going to use the same half cup, and I'm going to use it to put in 2 cups of almond milk. So that'll be 4 half cups. And this is going to be chocolate chia pudding, so I'm going to put in 1/4 cup of powdered baking cocoa. And I'm going to pour in about a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And then 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. Then I'm going to grab a whisk. And now I need to whisk all this together. It's going to take a few minutes because it takes a while for the cocoa to integrate into here. After that, I'm just going to stick a lid on this and pop it in the fridge. It's going to turn into pudding overnight. And then tomorrow morning, I will stir it, and then it'll be ready to serve as chocolate chia pudding. I'm probably going to serve it in sundae glasses with fresh blueberries on top tomorrow morning for breakfast. I just washed and poked several white potatoes. So my bread's going to be coming out of the oven soon. When it does, while the bread is out on the counter cooling, I'm going to get these baking and then pop them into the fridge for future use over the next few days in some meals. I am just literally now working down my to-do list and getting things done for the day. Now the bread is out on the counter cooling. I just moved the potatoes to the oven, so they're now baking. And we are finishing up on homeschool. We are just doing grading and corrections right now. So this will just take a little bit, and then we'll put away homeschool for the day. Well, my potatoes are going to be coming out of the oven soon, and I just spent this time, I was trying to edit the video, but that has just now come to a halt. You notice it's dark. We just lost electricity. We have been storming, and the electric company, I can actually see them in a distance through my patio window, is at our electric pole. So I guess they just turned us off to fix something. So I guess I'll be doing more editing later. Meanwhile, though, as soon as those potatoes come out of the oven, I will need to start getting ready to go out. Tonight, we are having supper at church and then a Bible study. So at least I don't need to cook supper tonight. Hopefully our electricity will be back on by the time we get back from church. But that's where we're at right now. Welcome back to Dark World. Okay, so the potatoes finished baking on residual heat in my oven because it is electric and we still don't have electricity. And I am currently slicing bread in the dark, but I have light coming in from the window. And this is what's going on outside my window. Let me zoom in. Yeah, that's why we have no electricity. And student driver is now driving us to church in rush hour and in the rain. So this is some good training for him. Meanwhile, none of us really know what we look like because it was too dark in the house to see. So here we go.
We can come boldly enter into the throne room of grace because of the shed blood of Christ. It's not on our own merit. It's not on anything that we've done or what we can ever do.
We just got home, so we did dinner at church and a Bible study at church, and then we just ran to Walmart and grabbed a few goodies, and so now we're home, and in a little bit we're just going to relax and maybe watch an episode of a series or something on Netflix together as a family, and then we'll get ready to head to bed. So this concludes the vlog. Have a blessed day.